The topics we discuss are many.
No story too bold.
Welcome to the show, everybody.
Strictly our own opinions.
But they are opinions from people like you.
Welcome to the NAKE'd podcast.
Better late than never. Welcome to the show, everybody. Woo! It's your boy, Ethan.
I'll do that one. Hey, did you guys know that Kit Kats, like the stuff between the wafers, is actually made of other Kit Kats? It's your girl, NJ.
Yeah, they just mash them all up. Aww.
Small proud moment. I just hit one of my first weight loss goals. Woo!
Yay! Great job!
Wow.
So I only had to tie her to the treadmill, hold a cattle prod behind her, and make her run on it. Yeah.
More like hook up her favorite show and say you can only watch it if you walk on this.
I left my mic muted this entire time. No one could hear that. Damn it.
See, I'm very supportive, okay?
So what I said during my intro is I got a Nintendo Switch. The kiddo drew it. Anyway.
He's super cute. He did a really good job.
Yeah. Check it out. It's got full detail. He even drew Goombas on it. Like that's pretty good. Alright.
We've been playing some Hyrule Warriors, the older game, and then we're like, man, now I remember why we stopped playing this game. There's too much, there's too much maintenance that goes into it.
Right? Like that's some of the I think the drawback to Breath of the Wild is not that it's too much maintenance, but like the overabundance of maintenance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if I wanted to do one thing, you had to make a snow potion, and then you had to keep up with your health, and then you had to keep up with everything else.
I like that about it.
I love Breath of the Wild.
But you know what I do?
Well, no, I mean the game's fine, but yeah, I mean,
It is
I want
a
to
lot.
I want to buy a potion, okay?
Right? I get you.
I have no smooth one-liner for the transition for that. Now I gotta go real greasy.
He's making it worse.
I
You
always
are.
make it worse. I make him as
Like-
greasy as possible. Fun.
You know
Is
who
that
else
fun?
died today?
Whoa.
Okay, I'm on it.
You know what I don't like?
What? Tell us what you don't like.
Greasy wheels.
No, the fact that Ubisoft is removing every DLC for the original Rocksmith game. Rocksmith is a game that you can buy on Steam, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 if you still have the consoles, to be able to learn how to play guitar or bass, or you can even sing the songs. They had roughly the cost of every song that you could buy for Rocksmith, including the $39.99 price tag of the game, was over $800. But you own that music forever. Well, it only makes sense for Ubisoft to delist it so that they can push for their Rocksmith Plus platform, which is supposed to be a subscription service, and it'll include all the songs.
You'll still have access to your old songs, right? Like, will it transition to the new platform or no?
No, any ownership from the original games won't transfer to the to Rocksmith Plus. But if you do have the DLC for Rocksmith, which was released in 2011, if you have Rocksmith 2014, that version will be able to read those songs. But as long as you keep backups of your game files, it should be fine. Plus, I don't even know if Steam's removing the DLC from their backup store in case you uninstall it or not, which I've never had to deal with. So
And the computer crashes.
I'm a little worried because I mean I bought Rocksmith 2014 this year, and if I lose access to it, then I'm kind of screwed, aren't I?
You just gotta pay them more money and get the subscription based.
I mean, I was
How
gonna
much
do
is
it
the
anyway.
How much is this up?
So subscription rate for Rocksmith Plus is $8.99 a month, which is better than Gibson Play. Gibson Play is $10. And then they do have other competitors, but they don't have as many features. Rocksmith has an immense amount of features to help you learn songs and teach you technique, where Gibson Play or all the other subscription services that are already out there kind of don't really do.
You guys should ask Bloomer for the win what he thinks about that this Wednesday when you guys play a game with him. Because doesn't he play a lot of Rocksmith?
Mm-hmm. He does.
Like daily.
Mm-hmm. Dude's got like 7 guitars behind him.
So if they start making it harder to, is this gonna make it harder to stream songs now, right? Because when you own the DLC, right, you own the music in a way, and you
Yeah.
own the rights to like play it. So now, are you gonna still have all those same kind of rights to play the music online, or is this gonna cut out a lot of that?
I think it's gonna cut a lot of that out. Because I mean, with Twitch in particular, as long as you're playing your own rendition of the song, even if you're playing over the original, it's allowed. Certain artists, oh my god, music groups do mute streams that have the song. So like Chevelle is one of them. Anytime I played a Chevelle song on stream, it would be muted immediately. But I mean,
It's like they don't want anyone to hear the music.
mm-hmm.
Didn't something pass recently about like DCMA stuff on Twitch?
Mm-hmm.
I thought I saw something about that.
Warner Media and Twitch came to an agreement about people playing music on stream so that Warner Media can continue to get payouts and streamers don't get in serious trouble. But I didn't read too much into it. I didn't read into it at all, to be completely honest. But I know that a lot of streamers.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I know that a lot of streamers really we're really looking forward to the agreement too. Oh, kitty cat.
Sylvie's gonna play whatever he wants, whenever he wants. Okay, like let people try to sue him.
Who? Bloomer?
Sylvie.
Oh, Sylvie. Yeah.
What would Sylvie play?
A lot of Nirvana.
Smells
he-
like Sylvie
Song
spirit.
from Cats.
Yeah, but he wouldn't play anything that was mainstream, only off catalog.
Jesus. Off catalog. You know what? I can agree with that. He seems like a cat that would do that.
He's always so angry.
Yeah.
He looks like he's just glaring at you every time.
He's like, I'm just squinting at you in love.
Because I can't
Look at
see.
that.
Like, see that? Like he's giving you right now.
This is his purring face.
It's his relaxed face. Look at him, he's falling asleep.
We're trying to get him we're trying to kennel train him right now. So we're starting to put his food in the kennel. We've got his bed in there. He does not like it.
But it's too close to Pepper. I mean, he doesn't really like Pepper.
Damn, why not?
Pepper's a dick.
Pepper barks at everything, and Sylvie still jumps at loud noises.
Mm-hmm.
He's still super skittish. Like, you walk around the corner and he books it.
What were you
What's it
doing?
mean? Bye.
It's probably him who delisted Rocksmith.
Probably.
Why
shit.
so? Why you gonna do us?
What do you guys think?
Get
You
to
know,
Rocksmith.
what do you guys think? Like, based off of what I've told you about Rocksmith and what you've seen.
Well, it sucks. I don't know. I'm not. I don't really play guitar, and I mean, it seems like it's a sucky situation, but I'm not gonna buy Rocksmith anytime soon now.
At least 2014
See-
is still available.
Yeah. Well, what will be available soon is some studies on some asteroids in Jupiter's orbital path. So NASA launched on Saturday an explorer named Lucy, which Lucy was named after the skeleton that they found in 1964 that is over, I think, like 100 million years old. So it's kind of a nod to that. And the reason why they named the explorer that is because this robot is basically going to explore planetary evolution from these asteroids. It's gonna be going for a long time. So even though it's gonna be flying in Jupiter's orbital plane, it will actually be closer to Jupiter here on Earth rather than where it's going.
Okay.
This is the furthest that we've ever gone with any type of like robotic spacecraft and in distance, because I sent Peach a picture that shows its kind of like path. Peach, can you pull that up for the stream?
I already got it. It's a little enlarged, but I can make it a little smaller so they can see the full path. Oh, come on.
So it's gonna but it's gonna leave our orbit and then it's gonna go out and explore a series of asteroids, come back, come closer to Earth, and then swing back out into the orbital path on the other side and explore a couple other asteroids. That's crazy. Like by the time it gets to where it's going to be past 2033.
Damn.
I know, that's so crazy. Like, if you even think about Juno, right? Like the Juno mission, when was that launched? I think 89 or something.
Yeah, I think so. I can find out for you.
Yeah. But I mean, it was launched way before any of us could think about Jupiter, you know?
Yeah.
This is kind of awesome.
Mhm.
It is super cool. So they're going to study the geology of the surface, and it was really funny in the NASA, I guess, press conference that they had. They said, yeah, we're going to look at the composition of fresh craters, but fresh doesn't mean it just happened. Like fresh as in it's like more than 100 million years old. And it's really interesting because to me, we've never gone this far. Like we're gonna learn so much about our solar system and our galaxy, and it just only proves like what else can we do. Like I know our goal is to go to Mars with human life, but like studies like this like just show what our universe is about, because a lot of it's just theory, right? Like we've talked about our theories before, our tinfoil hat theories, or things that we've heard, or things that make sense. But things like this just super excite me in the name of science, because you look at our planet now and it's not going to last forever. You know, like our sun will burn out eventually. So we do have to look ahead, you know, what's in the stars and see what else is out there.
And what about the Galactic Republic?
That's at Jupiter right now, so we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. Oh, and
So-
Juno launched 2011.
2011?
Mm-hmm.
You're telling me that the hidden agenda for this is to connect with the aliens.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Demi said
that-
that they said that was a derogative term.
No, Jamie Lovato just needs to shut the fuck up, okay?
Yeah,
I love your
extraterrestrial.
tinfoil hat.
Like,
When we got into the point of worrying about aliens' feelings about being called aliens, and we're talking about outer space people, then just, you need to be quiet at this point, Demi. Just calm down.
I didn't know she had said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
He has a
last
whole
week.
TV show
Yeah.
Oh, is it like The
about.
View?
No, it's. I don't know what it is, but I
Jimmy
know that
explains it
they.
all.
You can
um,
never replace Clarissa, okay?
I know that they talk about like their experience with their meeting with extraterrestrials and how I don't even know, but apparently it's some ET show, and Demi explains all of the contact that she's had with them. They've had with them.
Sorry. I'm sorry, what?
I thought she was off drugs. I thought she was sober.
Okay, well, I, for one, believe in aliens, and it could happen. I mean, why not? I don't know. Her experience is her experience. But about Lucy the Explorer, particularly, science, factual, something that we'll have access to for the next at least 12 years. Big step for science. Super excited. I mean, it's always exciting going somewhere you've never been. Oh, is this the link?
Let's mute that. Unidentified.
Oh, because I mean, imagine the pictures that we're going to be able to get back. Since we've
Mhm.
never sent, a craft out that far, we're going to get pictures that we've never been able to really see before.
Well, so
Yeah.
my question: didn't one of the ships we launched in like the 70s? It went past Pluto, didn't it?
Yeah,
Because we got those pictures of Pluto.
Yeah, but it didn't. It never really crossed Jupiter, at least as far as I remember.
Or Saturn or something like that.
Yeah.
I think it passed Saturn.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's
Well,
fact check
it
that.
would make sense if you
Got it.
actually, if you actually watch the rotations, right? Like, it would
Voyager
all the
1 and
planets
2.
would have to line up in order to hit all of them at once,
Yeah.
and that's like an astronomical event,
And even then, by
That's
the
when
time
Hercules defeats Hades.
right?
and by the time it actually gets there, then like the planet will have moved. But it's Voyager 1 and 2. They're still
The New
exploring.
Horizons. New Horizons launched in 2006, and it's going to do the flyby study of the Pluto system. It still has, according to this little cool Google tool, it's been in on its mission for 9.5 years, and it has 15, about 16 more years left until it completes its mission. Crazy.
That's cool.
That's so intense just to be like, yeah, we're gonna launch this up there, knowing that maybe our kids get information back.
Yeah, I guess we have to do this for our kids, right? So like science continues to keep going.
Yeah.
But what else is also a little bit intense and scary is us remembering and kind of reflecting what happened on January 6th, especially now that the new FBI report came out. So I think Ethan has more about that.
Well, yeah. So over the last couple of weeks, a lot has come out. And the FBI, their big report was just that there was no like center person in charge, right? Like nobody orchestrated it. One person orchestrated it. And then the people that were higher up, who you can say help orchestrate items,
Mhm.
were either FBI agents or FBI informants. So
There was actually FBI agents undercover. I only thought they had informants.
well, we don't know all the details, but the term agents is used in the report. So we don't know to what extent those, like, they could have just been getting
Handler.
information. Yeah, a handler. But still, if the FBI knew about it and they had informants in place, why did they let it happen, for one? Because a lot of people are not happy with the FBI. Have y'all heard anything about the Whitmer case?
Mm-mm.
No.
So, so there was a plot to kidnap the governor of Wisconsin, Gretchen Whitmer.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember
Well,
that.
so come to find out, half of the people that are just under half of the people involved, like say there's like 100 people involved, 46 of them were affiliated with the FBI in some way,
Oh shit.
right? So that's like how many. I don't know the exact numbers, but that's a representation of how it was, right?
Mhm.
So after paying attention to that, a lot of people are like, well, did the FBI actually stop the Whitmer Gretchen thing, or did they instigate and push people, right? Because the FBI does have a bad history of more or less, here, let me give you a rocket launcher and see what happens, right? And then
Yeah.
they go, it's not our fault. You're the one that used it. So what was their role with the riot at the Capitol?
Yeah.
I have that same question because the FBI played a pretty critical role in how the Black Panther Party was radicalized. When these two people, God bless them, they actually broke into the FBI building and released these declassified, or they could release these classified statements about the FBI's role. So, what exactly was the FBI's role in both Whitmer's case as well as what happened on January 6th? Like, that's a great question, and I think we should know.
And then if you go back and you look at, so they've finally been like released all the video footage, right? And you can go watch the video of everyone storming into the Capitol's single file through the door as the doors opened for them, right?
Please step aside.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you put all this, so you see something like that, right? And you can say there was a lot of bad actors, and there were some people who did some really bad things. But though that group of people who walked past the guard single file and were let in, should those people be facing insurrection charges, right? Like, should they be labeled traitors of the state?
Yeah, what I've read is that there's no charges like what they wanted initially, like seditious conspiracy or like a racketeering or anything like that. Like they're more so, I think like 40 people are have conspiracy charges. Like the Proud Boys leader, they recruit, like apparently he recruited members and urged them to stockpile and invest in equipment weeks before the attack, but there's still no evidence that this was actually a serious plan. So I agree, like it just seemed like the perfect storm of events, right? Like some bad actors took advantage of people that are riled up and it just escalated from there.
Yeah, like you could easily see how the situation, if you put a lot of angry people in a situation and you have somebody who has good knowledge of how to manipulate situations to get the worst outcome, then,
Mhm.
you know, it sounds like a conspiracy theory, right? To go that
Yeah.
hardcore, but was this done on purpose, right? Did they at least let this happen and when they could have prevented it just for the political points, right?
Honestly,
Not
if
to
they did,
mention,
it's kind
like,
of fucked up.
Mhm.
Go ahead, NJ.
Sorry, I was to say, not to mention that, like, I guess, like, one platform that, like, what is it, the Oath Keepers and Proud Boys were using was a platform called Telegram, and the government actually subpoenaed for those records to show if there was any like planning or organization that really happened through this, and there really wasn't a lot from those. They did see like some things, that lead to these other conspiracy charges against people who kind of took advantage of the moment. But yeah, I mean, like the riots from last summer, from 2020, and the protests there, National Guard was called. Like there's other things that happen. Why didn't something like this, when most platforms, even like Facebook, knew it was going to happen before it was going to happen, or maybe it was leading
And that
there.
was, so like you bring up the platform item. Parler was nuked out of the web, right?
Mhm.
It still exists to this day, but it will never recover to what it was, and
Yeah.
because it was said to have been used to orchestrate this. Well, now we know that the majority of the communications that happened about this was on Facebook, right? Like over 80% was on Facebook rather than Parlor. But they used the situation, and now Parlor is no longer climbing. Like Parlor was set to establish itself as an actual platform, right? Like a legitimate platform that had a serious user base.
Yeah.
And they just like destroyed it overnight, all because they said it was being used to orchestrate the riot there.
Wasn't Facebook summoned recently to talk about what their role was with the whole January 6th thing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
What
yeah.
happened? What happened with that? I don't think I saw anything.
I mean, it's the same old, same old. Like Facebook Facebook has a knack where they'll come up with all these studies, right? Like they run all these internal studies and then they just cherry pick what is exposed and what comes out. So like the big study, right, about how teenage girls are mentally affected by Facebook alone.
yeah, they have that.
Or
Yeah, there's like
Instagram.
over 13 studies that Facebook has access to. Well,
Mhm.
they've only ever released like 3 of them, right? And it's the ones that are the most favorable to them. So we can't really trust anything that Facebook will come out and say at the moment.
No,
Well,
I don't
yeah,
think,
they have a whistleblower recently.
yeah. There are two.
Even then, when it all came out, like, and she never was actually a whistleblower because she never talked about any of the actual items Facebook was doing. She talked about things they weren't doing. So when you get there, a whistleblower is supposed to call out illegal activity, right? Like that's the because whistleblower status is an actual legal term
Mhm.
and an actual, defined by law. And what she was doing was more of advocating or, you know, condemning certain practices that Facebook was doing or not doing.
Well, maybe she couldn't like come out right out and say it because of an NDA or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's possible, but again, she was more saying that Facebook should more curate what's actually on their website. Like that's what her big thing was. But even then, like coming back to that, you know, if Facebook or other platforms weren't hiding or curating all this bad activity, would it be easier to handle and more visible? Because, like they say, sunlight's the best disinfectant, right? Like if you get something out there, you get it visible, you're more likely to quell a bad situation rather than inflame it.
Yeah.
And now you have all these audits still going down, and the audits aren't coming back with good news. The audits are coming back with really bad news. So those people that went to the Capitol on that day, I don't know how you put it, right? Because they showed up without weapons, right? No weapons were found out of anybody arrested. Nothing that can be deemed a weapon. The only person that died on site was actually a protester shot by Capitol Police.
There was
Now that-
6 people that died and 1 died the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah,
Another cop killed himself because of it.
yeah. The people, there was actually one person killed. Everybody else was like one person fell from the scaffolding, one person was trampled. You know, like they died there, but actually between police and protesters, there was only actually one person that was hurt and killed. I know they made a big deal about the one officer who he passed away the day after, and from the medical autopsy, it was a stroke that he passed away from, and it could have been stress from the day before, but again, the medical examiner said most likely this was, not something that just appeared out of nowhere. Like it was going to happen to him. It's kind of a time bomb.
Mm-hmm.
But you come back to it on the other side, and they still have the January 6th commission going on through Congress, right? So we have taxpayers' time and money going to the January 6th commission, who is now calling and been subpoena people who are close to Trump just to get information from them. And That's like if we come down and we have the FBI report saying that this was, not orchestrated by President Trump, then why are we still more or less pursuing people on political charges? When do we cross the line into just using this as political fodder versus actually getting down to the information?
Well, I saw today that Trump actually sued to stop all communication that he made on January 6th and leading up to be to not be released to the commission. So, I mean, if he's not guilty, just release your
No,
communications.
That's not true, right? Because so if a hunter goes on a hunt, what are they trying to do? Hunt. They want to kill something.
Yeah.
So if you give somebody access to comb through, they can comb through to find anything to keep it going. And that's where we crossed the line, right? So we all went back to when the FBI was spying on the Trump campaign, right? Like they used the Steele dossier to spy on the Trump campaign to make sure that they weren't getting money or influence from other countries, right? Especially Russia or Ukraine.
Yeah, I remember their early rumors of it.
Yeah, after 5 years, they never could prove anything, right? They tried the impeachments, they tried all that. They could never prove anything because we work on a justice system of innocent until proven guilty. Not, I need to hand you all the evidence, so now you have something to prove me guilty with. Does that make sense?
But if he's innocent, why doesn't he just release the communications that he's made? If there's nothing connected to him actually leading the protest, then I think
because
that's fine.
The evidence that these people are showed that no matter how many times they're told that the Steele dossier was gone out, Mueller put out his own report on January 6th that says there's no charges to pursue, right? The FBI report says that there's no charges to pursue, but these people are still pursuing charges, right? They're on a crusade. So it doesn't matter if you're innocent or guilty. If somebody's on a crusade against you, you don't give them any ammunition. I mean, that's court 101.
Yeah. But if these people they have jurisdiction power, not jurisdiction, damn it. Judicial power, don't they?
No, they're legislative branches. They're not judicial branches.
Oh, okay.
So right now, so that's where it comes in, right? So you have multiple people ignoring the subpoenas for this, which would be Trump, Steve Bannon, and a group of other people. Well, where is their constitutional right to, for one, their Fifth Amendment rights, right? Right to remain silent. And two, when are we going to say enough is enough, right? If these people have already, if this commission's already been told 3 times that this thing you're attacking is not right, but we have these items over here we need to look at, right? How did these people get in the building? How did they do this? Like there's other questions to be answered, but when you're only focused on one person, is that really a impartial commission or is that a political crusade at this point?
I don't know, but
I get what you're saying. Like, there's bigger fish to fry in the grand scheme of things. Like, what about those 40 that are still being held on conspiracy charges? Rather than look at like an instigator or whatever secret communication they think is happening. I feel like it's kind of like how the reverse feel about the election audits. Like, like it's done. Like I get what you're saying. But
that's the other side, right? Like, out of the election audits, there is data coming out, right? Like in Arizona alone, there's at least 30,000 voters that have voted twice, right? Like it's been proven by the election audit itself.
Arizona itself, it's just Arizona.
And
all the other audits are done.
No, they're not. So Wisconsin, they're still going. It's not that. So a lot of committees and a lot of counties.
But when is enough? Like you said.
Yeah.
But again, there's when you have evidence to prove what you're saying on one side, and the other side is Trump bad, and we're just gonna keep saying Trump bad no matter what, then
So
those are
the
two different
conspiracy
things.
charges against like those 40 should still be looked into.
Mhm.
Yeah, they should be processed and not held in solitary confinement, awaiting for whatever this is gonna be. Right?
Yeah, on not so serious charges.
Yeah, let's move
I'm
it
just-
on.
I just analogy there was how you feel is how the reverse feels about the election results.
But that's what I'm saying. But again, it's not an analogy because one side has evidence, one side doesn't, right?
But-
So one
Yeah.
side, you don't see, that's the problem right there. Okay, so I can tell you, there's federal investigative people who say there is proof that there was problems in the audits, right? Like we have evidence that the audits
Not to the
proved something.
scale that everyone's being led to believe.
But again, if there's small problems, let's fix it, right? Let's audit it. Let's fix it. If there's nothing to hide, then show the evidence.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
If there's nothing to hide,
Where-
show the evidence. Just
Exactly.
agree with
But
what the
there's-
January 6th
but
Commission is
there's
asking
evidence-
and release it.
But okay, that's you don't understand what I'm saying though.
I do.
There's evidence, right? Like there's things backing that statement, right? When you say in audits, show me, I want to see the evidence, it's because we already see that there's evidence of something wrong.
Mhm.
The other side, you just have a lot of angry people. And if you look at it, they weren't armed, they were on public ground. And from what I understood, they had a permit. Like the original thing that happened was permitted through the city. So how can you call that an insurrection and also continue for 9 months later to try to prove it was an insurrection instead of now they're trying to disprove that there was audit problems, right? Like that's where the analogy is an issue. We're still, instead of finding people guilty, we're still trying to prove that they were guilty in the first place.
Well, I mean, when you really compare the two, you can't just say like, oh, Trump didn't communicate that, FBI has proven that Trump didn't fully orchestrate, but we have video evidence of him making
Appreciate it.
multiple speeches saying, go down to the Capitol and tell them, I'll see you January 6th. You have him multiple times stating that. Is that not enough evidence?
They
Of
have,
at least
but,
like instigating
I
it?
mean, you got to quote the entire quote, right? Like you can't just take the clips that you see on TV. You got to actually go and watch the whole thing. Like the biggest thing is where Trump says, go fight like hell, right?
Mhm.
But before that, he says, go down there, peacefully protest, get your voice out, follow your constitutional rights, and fight like hell. Like that's a saying. He wasn't saying go burn the place to the ground, especially after we just saw months of cities burning.
Mhm.
Then to call I guess that's the biggest frustration, right? We saw cities burn for months, and here we saw they slowed Congress down for 2 hours.
Yeah, National
Yeah.
Guard was called while the cities are burning down, and nothing was done
Well,
about.
not really.
Oh,
We're $20 billion in damage says otherwise, compared to scared feelings.
a direct attack on our democracy.
Well,
I
it's not a
mean-
direct attack. I mean, if the people are peacefully protesting with a permit, I mean, yeah, you got bad actors, right? Like, punish the people that broke down doors, but the people who had doors open for them and they walk in single file, those aren't bad actors. For all those people understood is that they were peacefully protesting on what they believed were their constitutional rights. So do the people of the United States no longer own the House of Congress? Because we've had AOC herself has led a group of 10,000 people to do the exact same thing. But we didn't call that an attack on democracy.
It really bumbles down to a difference of opinion with this one.
Mhm.
Well,
Speaking of difference of opinion, Hooters uniforms are a hot debate as well.
So a few waitresses have taken to TikTok because they have received their new Hooters uniform. And a lot of these are from branches in Texas because they are beta testing them. And one
Okay.
girl wrote, "Just got my new underwear, JK, Hooters bottoms." So apparently these are more fitted to be like a full bottom brief underwear for women. And I don't know. Like, my experience with Hooters is I've been one time and it's featured in Big Daddy, and my uncle cheated on my aunt with one of the girls at 10, 15 years ago. That's my experience with Hooters. But at the same time, I also know if you are going to go to apply to a restaurant, when you walk in, you usually see the uniforms, you know the uniforms, you continue to apply. With these, I can see how, the girls could get upset over them. Like, yes, I agreed to this version of a skimpy outfit, not this version. And that's totally valid. You have your boundaries, you have your lines.
Yeah.
Other girls are saying, I've never made more money. These are great. And good for them. Own it, flaunt it. If you got it, girlfriend. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, okay, so in my border town, there are these drive-through alcohol places where women wear bikinis, impious
Beer burn.
bikinis. Yeah.
Beer burn.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Great. I didn't know if that was just a border town thing or not, but I mean, if you wanted to work at one of those places, go work there. Why is Hooters trying to turn into one of those places, right?
It's
I mean,
it's already
Yeah, that's always been Hooters' appeal. You go for the tight white shirts and the little orange shorts, the same as you go to Twin Peaks for the long knee socks, the shorty shorts, and the full shirt bra thing. It's appealing to a certain demographic. And I believe only those demographics really frequent those places.
Like kind of like OnlyFans or the other sleuth internet websites. Just these are in real life. Honestly, I've never been to a Hooters and I've never been to a Twin Peaks.
I have to say that they look cute. Like the new bottoms, they do look really cute. But my concern is like female hygiene. Like those are just straight spandex. Like those cannot be comfortable to work in a full shift.
Do they have pockets?
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Rude. How dare they?
I think the Hooters should give them a choice, and I think they did, right? Like they end up saying like you can wear the old ones if you want to wear the old ones.
I think so, yeah. But to me, it's just one of those things. As somebody who's worked in waitressing, when I applied to these places, I pretty much got an idea what the uniform was. And I agreed to that uniform when I basically applied, because if not, there's plenty of other places that have different uniforms that are more modest if that's what you're comfortable with. And it's hard to say, especially where we're at right now. We'll just go out and look for another job. I mean, you can. There are shit tons of jobs that are open, but it's also having qualifications for those jobs or the amount of money you're getting paid for those jobs. That's always kind of been a roadblock.
Mm-hmm. Especially in like service industry, you always want to go for something that'll make you more money, as opposed to being there for like ever. I get that.
Yeah. And I mean, some people, they're lifelong servers, they make good money, they like what they do, and that's not a bad thing. That's not something to look down on, We see these people who are like, "Oh, you're just a McDonald's worker, go get a real job." But it's like, who's going to serve you your McDonald's if they all fucking leave? Why would you not want to pay why would you not want to pay the people who make your food better?
Did you say it depends if they get the order right?
You're not wrong there.
I come on, like I've seen it. They can't even spell Andrew, right? Like some people at fast food, like I don't think fast food is a career,
How do you spell
right?
that? Endrew? Andrew?
Yeah, and it was like, but anybody, like, I guess that's the biggest thing, right? When you hear people talk about minimum wage at being 15 for restaurants, but I don't see restaurants like McDonald's. I don't see it as a career. Maybe like a manager, but
Way up to it.
I don't think you should be a cashier at even at HEB as a for your whole life. But hopefully, you have some goals to get a little further in life than that.
But I mean, what if their goal is to just work at a place that makes them happy? They make money to live and they don't want to deal with the stress of going any higher.
That's no problem, but
Yeah.
I don't think those people are the ones complaining
Oh
about
no.
the uniforms being too short. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I think that the girl who wants to be a lifetime waitress Hooter or Hooter at waitress, a waitress at Hooters.
Hooters girl.
Yeah, a lifetime Hooters girl. Like she's going in that like because that makes her happy. She's not showing up late to her shift and then complaining that the outfit's too small and she doesn't
Yeah.
make enough money.
Yeah.
Loyalty for a company goes a long way.
There it is. I just celebrated my 9-year anniversary at work. Now, I'm not a Hooters girl, obviously, but 9 years of my life has been spent at this company. So yeah, loyalty goes deep.
I'm about to come up on my 2 years at my current company in February.
It's like you just started there.
Mm-hmm.
Puzzle changes jobs. Like she changed her hairstyle.
Come on, 2 months.
Oh, wait, no, you mean to say she finally achieved the first step in her career goal?
It's all about getting your foot in the door, perseverance.
What about you, Crazy?
You go, girl. He's like, I'm a master electrician. What the fuck you talking about?
I've been in my current company 7 years.
Damn.
But I can say I've been on the payroll a lot longer. Because even when I wasn't working there, they never took me off the payroll. They just put me in active.
A leave of absence, just a very long leave of absence.
Ryzen! What's up, bro?
You know,
Hi,
the school term, whatever the month of schools we're in.
Right. I'm
2?
all 2 months. I'm starting to learn that the full moon really does affect the way the kids behave. So once a month they get super wild. Yeah, full moon's on Wednesday, in case anybody was wondering.
Oh, fuck! Really?
May
I didn't
the
realize
force
that.
be with you.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Man,
What is
fucking
up with
kids.
I said the same thing. So I made these little boo kits for our neighbors. I don't know if you guys have seen them, but it's like you like boo your neighbor with like some like treats. Like it's like a trick, but it's actually a treat. And it's just cute. So I bought candy for Halloween and I opened the candy bags to put in there. And I was getting some candy last night and Alan's like, no more candy. We have to save it for the kids. And I said, fuck them kids. I want my poppers.
Dude, like
And then she picked up 2
$25 a
piles
bag,
and handed me one.
Yeah.
I can tell you,
Yeah, no.
I have nobody's
Candy's-
kids for $25 a bag of candy, all right?
Go trick-or-treating for that.
And even last year, we had our light off, and they still came and rang the doorbell. Like, these kids
Same.
ain't got no fucking common courtesy anyway.
Same.
It's their parents that don't, man. Like we turned off our light because we ran out of candy our first year, and our doorbell rang all fucking night until like 9 o'clock. But we opened the door, we're like, we don't have any more candy. Like we even have a sign, and then like the parents were like, oh okay, and like walk away. Like you should have fucking been out here walking kids to the street at like 5, 6 o'clock. Like it's not my fault that you were late. Sorry about your luck. Sorry, Ryzen. We were talking about Hooters girls and their new uniforms.
Their underwear, the new over underwear, right?
Over under
I think you'd be able to wear underwear with those.
Yo,
They're called
Okay.
they're called Hooters
Rising,
Overwears. Okay,
have you
they're
ever
franchised.
heard of the stories of the guys who would go apply at Hooters and then try to sue them for not getting hired? That's what this is, right? Like,
what?
I forgot all
So-
about that.
they make fun of it even in King of the Hill, right? So
They
Dale
do.
goes and applies at Hooters because he thinks they're not going to hire him because he's a guy, and then he takes the job anyway to prove a point, and then he ends up becoming friends with the girls and understands all the girls because he went through what they've gone through.
Wait.
So wholesome.
Didn't he also wear the uniform too? Like
Yeah,
the
he
shorts
wears-
and
he wears the
everything?
uniform, yeah. He wears the uniform just like them.
But does he have pocket sand?
No.
Because there's no pockets.
Crazy.
Fuck
But
You know,
this
it's
is like the same thing, right? Like, oh, I'm gonna sue them because their uniform's too small. Well, there's like 20 other restaurants you can go to, right? Like, go to Twin
Restaurants?
Peaks, a restaurant. Yeah, that's what we call it.
So crazy. Is that going to be your Halloween costume this year? Dale
Hooters
and his
girl?
Hooters.
Yeah.
You a Hooters girl.
yeah. Dude, I can't even tell you the last time I went to a Hooters because here in San Antonio, Hooters doesn't do very well. Okay,
Shame.
the
Yeah,
type
give it
of
a
ladies that
listen.
work at Hooters are the ones that got rejected from like Twin Peaks and everything else.
It's because
God.
Twin Peaks pays so good, man.
Oh yeah.
They pay $15 an hour on top of tips.
Well, and they also
Just kidding, I don't
like
know.
transfer
Get
people
back
around
on
a
that
lot.
treadmill.
How much
like-
do you make?
So have y'all ever been to Ojos Locos?
No.
Mm-mm.
Are they loco?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Everyone, yeah.
it is a true like Hispanic version of Hooters, but like the girls wear so much less. Like they show up in lingerie.
So like Mexican weather girl type of clothing.
That's on like Friday night. On like Tuesday nights is like lingerie where they just wear pretty much a bra and panties or a bustier or a teddy.
There used to be a place here called Bikinis that was
Yeah,
girl.
they closed down.
They closed down. I mean, like, you know, kudos to these girls. Like, if that's what brings you money, like I've seen stripper talk. Like, it's basically the same thing. Like, you just don't have to dance. Those girls like rake in that money. So good for you, girl. Like, make that money. This girl's like, it was a slow night, and she made $3,000.
God damn. That's a slow night? Jeez.
So there's a chick here in San Antonio. Have y'all seen her billboards? And it says professional pretty. Follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. And that's all it
Ew.
is.
I haven't seen those. Sweaty.
Wild. I miss the billboards with the dude who was like, my wife hates this suit, so I put it on a billboard. And he had like 3 of them.
Jesus.
So the Dr. Genevieve guy bought all those ones now. So come get your mommy makeover.
Anyway. Crazy, what are we doing this Wednesday?
We're gonna be playing some games Wednesday.
Mhm.
Games.
Do you know who we're playing with?
who?
This one guy, what's his name? Redbeard.
But plays guitar. Plays guitar
Uh,
on stream. Starts with a B. Rhymes with Loomer for the win.
Oh, Boomer for the loss.
No.
yeah.
Bloomer for the win.
Not Boomer for the loss. I like that one.
No. That's not his name.
I hope he doesn't take offense to that, because whenever I got my first tattoo, Ethan joked about getting the direct opposite. So my first tattoo is a Gandhi quote. Again, I was 18. Okay, so don't judge me.
You can't shake hands with a closed fist.
With a clenched fist,
There
and then
you
he's
go.
like, I'm like, you can't punch somebody with a open hand. Is that what he said?
Oh.
No, because it's a slap.
I'm gonna punch you with my strong hand. I've
Little
had
hand.
that stuck in my hand. My little hand. Yeah, there you go.
Little hand. I always remember it as strong hand.
Yeah. Same.
What are you guys gonna? Are you guys gonna watch like anything spooky for Halloween? I saw the Great Pumpkin. Charlie Brown is out. I think on HBO.
Really? Can we watch it,
Mhm.
please?
Yes, I love it.
We actually just started Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
We finished season 1 before we came in here.
Damn, really? When did you
I'm just-
start?
Saturday.
A few days ago. Yeah.
They're just like 20-minute episodes, right? Like 22-minute.
Yeah, but it's like at the end of the season 1, you're just like, all right, so she slayed the Vampire King. All right, so Buffy the Vampire Slayer is done, right? Oh wait, no.
There's more?
I think I saw through the end of season 2. I need to pick back up with Buffy. I also wanted to give Charm a rewatch because my aunt watched a lot of Charm, so I've seen episodes, but I haven't seen it start to finish.
I
OG
love
Charm?
the original Charm. I watched it so much,
Oh,
but
good,
I heard
yeah.
really bad things about the new Charm.
New
Just that the
It's not
story
great.
is just horrible. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not great. Aw, bye Ryzen.
Hi, Ryzen. Have fun
Enjoy
at
your
work.
night at work.
Make good choices.
Yeah.
What else we got? Oh, tomorrow we're having a community-led D&D game with our community member Kiwi Head. He's DMing Dungeon of the Mad
Maybe.
Mage. Maybe.
Maybe.
Hopefully. Third time's the charm.
Oh, God.
We're gonna get the I forgot me and Gigi are doing this.
I'll tell you in juice detail. Alright guys, who should we raid?
Yeah, who are we raiding?
Is Wild as on?
Oh, let me check. I'll check for you guys.
Yeah, he's on. He's playing Escape from Tarkov. I follow him on TikTok. He is so funny. He is hilarious. Remember, I think he told you guys he was like a stand-up comic. Is that what he told y'all? Yeah, he is hilarious. If you have TikTok, definitely follow him.
Oh, shit. 2-hour and 22-minute talk with corporate? Oh. Ugh.
Right. How'd that go?
Yeah.
But see, that's your problem. You had to talk to corporate. Get out of corporate life. Just burn it to the ground.
Speaking of
Just-
corporate
He
life,
will be eventually.
okay, here's our shout out for this week for our producer, NJ.
No, this is NJ.
Woo! Oh, I need to play the outro. Here you go.
Well, that wraps up another great episode. And don't forget to join our amazing and supportive community on Discord.
In our Discord, you can find watch parties, food pics, Dungeons and Dragons, and more. What's not to love about that? We have a little something for everyone. Head over to our website, officialmillennials.com, and you'll find more info, especially our featured gamer of the week.
Speaking of something for everyone, we have a book club. We read a book almost every month and talk through it together. We also have a special perk for our subs to discuss other books in a series called Chapter 2.
Don't forget to swing by YouTube and drop us a follow at Official Millennials. You can also find us on Twitter at MillsOfficial. We appreciate all the support, and y'all have a good one.
This is an Official Millennials production.